Hello and welcome back to Monster Hunter Generations, where today we're going to be taking care of some Snow Baron Lagombies in our continuing quest to take care of at least one of every deviant on camera. Now, since we're doing these all at level 6, with the exception of the Hellblade Glavenus we did, the vast majority of them are going to be Huntathons, which I'm not a huge fan of Huntathons solo, because their purpose is to, kill as many as you can during the time you have. And when you're playing solo, you, of course, can't kill as many as you would be able to in a group of 4. I don't know why I'm painting him. Okay, no, it's definitely Snow Baron that's got the late roar. His roar came out well after his mouth opened. Okay, I guess I was just mistaken on that red helm in the last episode. Why did I try and dodge towards him? I mean, I didn't really get hurt very much for it, so could have been worse. But that was just wasted damage, and wow, we just completely whiffed. But yeah, Huntathons, they're great ways to get extra parts for things, but not as great as actually just doing multiple quests for the monster in my experience, because sure, you can hunt as many as you want and get all the carves you want, but you only get the quest rewards for as if you had hunted 1 or 2. And there's plenty of quests that have 1 or 2, and I forgot cleansers. But yeah, plenty of quests that have 1 or 2 that, you can finish by killing just the 1 or 2, and then you get the quest rewards for that. And the carves for 1, and you can do it way faster than killing a bunch in a Huntathon. Like, Huntathons are a good concept, but since they don't actually really reward you much for killing more than the 2 you're required, if at all even, they lose a lot of their value. A lot of the value that they would otherwise have had over regular hunts. How dare you run away from me, Lagombi? So, I actually did bring sonic bombs for this quest for a very specific reason. Yeah, you probably did see that giant snowball he just rolled at me, but Snow Baron's got a move unique to Snow Baron Lagombi. Regular Lagombi does not have it, in which he'll get a giant snowball and then pick it up over his head. And his monster info in the hunter's notes seems to imply that I'm really good at getting hit by that. Specifically Snow Barons, because he, doesn't just do it in a straight circle. He actually goes in kind of an egg shape. But yeah, the hunter info seems to imply that if you use a sonic bomb while he's got the snowball over his head, something special will happen. And now that he's enraged, we of course can't find out because he's immune to sonics while raging. I really hate how early that starts doing Snowman. Oh, and of course now he picks it up, now that he's enraged. Honestly, I think I've only seen him do that while not enraged maybe once. And we are still Snowmaned. I really should have gemmed to have bind resist. I've actually done that for Snow Baron before, because, I don't like being snowmanned all the time, but I also like Speed Sharp, and I usually just don't even think to use bind resist. Well, it looks like he's out of rage, so if he decides to pick up a snowball now, then hopefully we'll be able to get a Sonic out in time. I don't know that we will, but as long as we make sure that we put our weapon away whenever he's not nearby us, I guess we'll be in a decent position to give it a shot. Hopefully I can do that during this quest. Mainly because, wow, really? No hitbox on that? Oh, and incidentally, Snow Baron, really, Cat? You just straight up missed me. But Snow Baron's butt slam Jumping Butt Slam does not have an auto stun on it, though Red Helm's does. It's just one of those weird inconsistencies. And we failed that dodge. Maybe the roars just have different timings depending on the context. Like maybe rage roars come out later than other roars. But then again, I don't think this guy roars at all when not becoming enraged. Yeah, I feel like that little slide with all the snow it kicks up that can cause Snowman, I feel like it actually causes Snowman... I don't know. Oh! He left rage while holding it. Unfortunately... Well, actually, no. I think this is a much longer stun than usual. So, really... But yeah, good strat. Just don't do it when he's in a doorway. And if I'd just been going straight at him, then I wouldn't have gone through the door like that, which of course would have been better, but I was trying to angle myself so that my blade would hit his face specifically so that I could more easily get the break. Of course, I just got it now. It's a fairly easy break to get. I didn't really have to do all that effort for it. Do effort? Go to all that effort. Learn English, Redmond. Yeah, doing the turn around and slide thing when you're facing directly towards a wall, perhaps not the best plan, Lagombi. I don't know why I'm going for the face. His butt takes way more damage. Also, it's a much bigger target, so really there's no reason to go for the face over the butt if you've already gotten yourself the face break. Oh, way to just knock him over, cat. And this one isn't going to send me out of the area. So it is going to decrease my sharpness, so let's get that back up. Oh, cat poisoned the poor Khonshu. Interesting. Seems they've fixed Khonshu. I know that at least in Monster Hunter 4, I don't know about 4G or 4U, if they died from poison, they actually did the reverse Bunahabra. If they died from poison, they'd actually just despawn. Whereas, and it would make them uncarvable, whereas killing them normally always makes them carvable. But looks like in this game, at least, killing them with poison just, you know, kills them with poison. Okay, I was able to get that dodge before the roar sound even started. I actually really want to make this guy's weapon. It's a pretty good ice weapon. For most weapons, it ends up being the best ice option. Oh, he's raging. Yeah, I should have known that because of the roar. Yeah, the Kushala weapons tend to be pretty darn good, but for some weapons, this guy actually pulls away from them. I think largely because of the increased art generation. I don't know that I ever finished my thought about the snow, but it sometimes seems like it can cause Snowman before he even starts moving. Like on the first frame of movement, which never seems quite right. But whatever. It's not a huge deal. Just bring bind resist, you never have to worry about it. That's the real strat. Well, he's out of rage now, so if he picks up a snowball... Okay, he's back in rage. Yeah, you can limp away, buddy, but you're not going to get far. Yeah, I shouldn't have gone for those spirit slashes. There was no real way for them to hit after the first one. Because turns out moving targets are not stationary. You learned it here first, folks. Oh, sure. Kill him before I can get my slash in. I should have gone for the spirit slash. That would have refilled my gauge. I was too busy being offended that it died before my blade hit it. I like that I'm getting plastrons here, because I actually needed a bunch of those earlier to actually make the weapon in the first place. And I actually used all of the ones I had. So getting more is, of course, good. And they spawn in here, so here is where I shall stay. And since this will be the second one, we're going to go ahead and just put this right here. We're going to use all of our tricks on this one just to make it a little easier. Of course, it's already not terribly difficult. It's certainly easier than Red Helm. It's just a bit more Really? My trap? You know that can't stand, cat. But yeah, I'd say Snow Baron's easier than Red Helm. It's just a little bit more annoying because of the snow manning. Yes, roar at me. Now get in the trap. Okay, that is the opposite direction from the trap. That is not what I asked you to do. Nope, that is still not you getting into it. That's you throwing things at it. No, you see, you getting into the trap is different from you throwing things at the trap. Come on, Lagambi, you gotta work with me here. Okay, dancing around the trap and then throwing things at the trap is still not getting in the trap. There's what I wanted to see. That's a good bunny. I find it interesting what a large variety of animals Lagambi takes cues from. Like, it's obvious that, you know, bunny. That's actually where it gets its name, because rabbits are lagomorphs. So that's where the lagom comes from. I just pronounce it lazily with the Lagambi. But whatever. And then there's also polar bear, because it does use the bear chassis, and it's white, so polar bear. Okay, we actually got lucky there, because when he picks up a snowball like that, if you get hit by the first thing, or if you dodge the first thing, it's actually just if you dodge it, then if you, depending on when you dodged, it'll actually make contact with you again and cause snowman before you're clear. Yeah, so rabbit, polar bear, he slides around like a penguin on a plastron, which is something that, I don't know if penguins have them, but I know turtles do. It's the little belly plate on their shell. And their faces look kind of like koalas, at least to my eyes. So rabbit, polar bear, penguin, turtle, koalas. But I mean, hey, props to the dev team for smushing so many animals together. I mean, I'm sure they probably actually didn't take inspiration from all of them. It just happens to work out that way. Okay, bunny. I'm going to need you to curl up and die. That's what I really want out of this. Lucky that we managed to hit it with the tail end of that last slash. So apparently, snowballs can't go through that ceiling, but they can kind of go through parts of that wall. We're getting snowman up. That was close. Okay. So the curling up and dying I asked you to do, I know it's still a while off, a ways off. I tried to say ways at first, but then transitioned to while. Don't know why. That happens sometimes. Words are hard. But, yeah, I know it's still a ways off, but I would certainly appreciate it if you would just do it anyway. That would be great. Also, if you could give me something super easy to dodge so that I can get red gauge, that would be cool too. I'm not going to use this trap until I have red gauge, because, again, throwing away damage is not a thing I want to do. But really, you're going to turn tail and run? Is that how we're doing this? Great. Because he decided to throw the first ones at the freaking wall. I dodged for a set that didn't exist and then ate a set that did. Whereas if you dodge through the first set, then the second set's not going to hit you. Okay, he is tired, so even though I don't have meat... Thanks, Conchu. Even though I don't have meter, I'm still going to put this trap down. Thanks for jumping right over me there. Thanks, Conchu. You're a real pal. Doing all these nice things for me. Okay. So, let's just go to town on this here rump. Because it is a very nice target. Nice and big, takes lots of damage. It's basically the ideal target. It's what you always want your weak points to be. Big, easy to hit, takes lots of damage. Hey. Oh. Sometimes his little tail sticks out just far enough that those can hit, but this was not one of those cases. I was actually pressing B for that one. I was just still locked into my slash animation. Always unfortunate when that happens. Oh, you're going to try and jump on me? Fun fact, these bears are actually unable to be flinched when they're in their jumping animations. That matters for some people. Especially ranged players who might be trying to get a flinch with their ranged attacks to knock the monster out of the sky. For melee, it usually doesn't matter as frequently. But yeah, if they're jumping at you, don't try and shoot them out of the sky. It will never happen. And you are limping away. That is good. That's exactly the thing we want you to do, except not really. We want you to actually be dead instead. It's a different thing. Slightly different. It's not the biggest difference in the world, but it is a difference. Oh. If I had waited a second longer, he would have been asleep. But I'm impatient. So how much am I going to pay for my impatience? Hopefully not much at all. Yep, not paying for it. Not like I would have one-shot him with a sleep attack anyway. Because it still took several hits to bring him down. Did they seriously both have the same carves? They did. Same exact carves. I mean, hey, they're allowed to. And I am now struggling against a sneeze. So if that does happen, I apologize, but hopefully it won't. Of course, it's never pleasant, because I can definitely feel it there, but now it feels like I'm losing it. And I'm sure those of you watching at home are aware how it feels to lose a sneeze. It's almost as unpleasant, perhaps even more so, than feeling the need to sneeze in the first place. But hey, now it's well and truly gone, And I can move on with my life. Especially because this quest is over, you know? Went much faster than the other bear. Further evidence that I have a much easier time with this bear than the other one. Yeah, this is definitely one of the easiest deviants, in my opinion. I wouldn't call it the absolute easiest. I believe that honor goes to Crystalbeard Uragon. It's basically just, for the most part, it's just regular Uragon. It's got a few differences, but none huge enough to write home about. But yeah, like, you saw there that we only got one break reward despite breaking both of their faces. That's one of my biggest gripes about Huntathons. You can only get one break reward per area you broke on the target monster, instead of one per monster you broke it on, which I feel cheated by that, especially because break rewards are often the best way to get some of the rarest parts for monsters. So yeah, that's just another reason I'm not a huge fan of Huntathons. I feel like they could definitely be improved to really capture what it is they're actually trying to do with them. Because as is, instead of being a more efficient way to fight lots of the monster and get lots of their parts, it's more efficient way to fight lots of the monster, but it's less efficient for getting parts. It's basically the only thing Huntathons help you do is get crowns more quickly. Which, you know, that's nice, but it doesn't really have any in-game impact. It's just for awards, which I do like, but they're not everything. Anyway, that's it for this episode. Join us next time when we take on a Stonefist Hermitar quest. See you then, friends.